finally out. Hey, welcome to SnapShot, the show that's all about taking better photos, taking better video. I'm your host, Denis, and joining us again, Tony, you're becoming a regular here. I don't even have to introduce you anymore. Here's Tony Beck, always an adventurer, Nikon ambassador, and naturalist, birder, explorer extraordinaire.
I like to get out there.
He likes to get out there. You and I have been shooting around this week. You got yours about 2 days before everybody else. Here it is. It's the new Nikon D5. And we can finally show photos. I mean, I know I got a lot of flack from my last video because we talked about this camera, and I was with Stéphane Bedard from the NPS services, and everybody gave me flack. It's just another video talking about hoopla because I was under contract. I had a disclosure. I could not show any photos. Sorry about that, but they didn't have the latest firmware or the final firmware installed in the demo camera, so we couldn't show you photos because well, people would just rip them apart. It wasn't ready. It was just a body that was fun to hold, and it showed us all the features and got to feel it and hold it.
It's fun to hold.
It's fun to hold. It is a beast. Tony, you've been using it. I mean, I've been out with you. We've been doing some comparison shooting the D800. Which has been, we'll show a little clip here of how fast I'm shooting in the high-speed bursts and compared to how fast you're shooting in the high-speed bursts. There's a bit of a difference there. But we've been talking about pixel power. I've been able to pull in with those extra pixels.
D810 has pixel power.
They're not, the two cameras were just there so that we were playing with the Nikon Nikkor 200 to 500 millimeter lens, and this camera here shines. I mean, it's a professional camera, or for the amateur that it has a good disposable income. It's not a cheap camera. It's built like a tank. I mean, this thing. It's heavy. I don't know what the spec is. It's a couple of kilos.
Yeah. It's about the same as the D4.
About the same as the D4S. What I really like about it though is they've changed the ergonomics on the grip. The grip feels a lot. I thought the D4, D4S, they just felt they were for someone with small hands, and if you were wearing a glove, I was always worried about it. I mean, when I was carrying it out in the field, I was always worried about it. But this grip here is substantial, whether you're wearing a glove or no glove. It's even got a little turn on the inside so that your fingers lock into the grip, and I just find that it's solid in your hands.
They're doing that to a lot of the new cameras. I've adapted to the camera itself regardless of the model, so that's not such a big feature for me, but it is important for some people. To me, I'm discovering that especially with the ISO button at the top, that allows me to make all the changes I need to make, because I always shoot in manual exposure.
Right. So you can make changes on the fly.
On the fly without moving my eye from the viewfinder.
Right. You don't have to look for it up here or on the back, on the side. It's right there.
It's right there.
That's a really big improvement.
It's a huge improvement.
And I know that you can also adjust these two little guys right here, these two new function buttons right here. You could actually program those to be your ISO up and ISO down, which would be a very cool feature, especially if you're doing video. Being able to change your ISO on the fly. A lot of questions on the last video about shooting video. Video questions on the video. Yes, you can change the aperture while recording. Which is something that you haven't been able to do on a lot of cameras. You can do it. I don't know why you'd want to do it. I don't know why you'd want to be, unless you're looking to change your depth of field for some reason. But for me, I would change the ISO. And let's talk about ISO. This is absolutely amazing. You've sent me, well, let's take a look at a photo here. We talked about a photo, What's the native ISO? Let's talk about the native ISO is what,
102,000.
102,400.
400 something.
Now, you shot an image, and we'll pop it up here, of Canada geese.
Canada geese in flight.
Canada geese in flight. And that's at 102,000.
102,000. The sun had already set. And normally I wouldn't even bother bringing the camera out at that point, of course, you know.
Right. But it's a new camera. You got to try it.
I had to try it, and I was shocked at the results. I think what was that 1/1000th of a second at f5.6 or something like that. And those are the shutter speeds that I need to freeze the action.
Right.
And I was doing that without sunshine. With it, the sun was below the horizon. You know, I mean, this was totally unheard of even a few years ago.
Months ago.
Yeah,
it really was.
And I never really dreamed that I could do the kind of things that I'm doing with this camera.
We also talked about an image here that I'm going to pop up on the screen. So here's a photo, Tony. Let's go to the other extreme. We're talking almost the rock bottom here. I don't think we have a rock bottom, but we've got 120 or 125 ISO. Mm-hmm. We've got a little white-breasted nuthatch here. Mm-hmm. And I mean, look at the sky behind there. Look at the dynamic range of this camera. It's just absolutely amazing.
The detail and the color, it's crazy.
It's super, super clean. We'll take it up a notch. We'll bring it up to, we've got a snowshoe hare here, which is at 640.
640, yeah.
And this is a shot really that, you know, and again, look at the detail, and we look at, you know, all the fine hairs. This was really publishing limit not too long ago. You know, you wouldn't go past 640, 800.
640.
You know, at 800, you knew you had some cleanup to do to send it to a publisher.
And now I don't think twice about pumping it up to even 800 or 1600 with the.
Now I want to take. You've got a picture here of Cecil the cat, and this is really cool because this is a 25,600. Which was the limit, right, on the D4.
Well, this is the big surprise. You know, the photo that I've got here is clean, no matter which way you look at it. I mean, if you study the image, you can find noise. But looking at it quickly on the computer screen, and I suspect as well if it was to be printed in a double-page spread in a magazine, you'd struggle to find the noise.
You probably wouldn't see it because if it was on a magazine, you'd have the pixelation of or the graininess of the print. Yeah. But if you were on a photo print, maybe 16 by 20, you'd have to look for the noise.
Right.
Which, I mean, a game changer. Very much so a game changer.
Well, it's crazy.
Getting your shutter speeds. So for sports photographers, for nature photographers, for action photographers. It's
press photography, you know, because you can react under the worst conditions. Paparazzi's going to love this camera.
You're going to be going through an awful lot of memory.
Well, that's all right, you know.
Now,
ammo's cheap, they say.
Almost cheap, yes. Memory is cheap compared to what it was many years ago. Now, you've gone for, we'll just pop this open here for those of you who have not seen this, dual memory slots. And it's available in two configurations, one with two CF cards, and you've gone for the XQD.
XQD, yeah.
Now, the XQD gives you a much faster...
a little more speed.
More frames per second, because your buffer is writing to the card a lot quicker. Yeah. Do you remember off the top of your head what that buffer's... I think it's around 150 shots or 200 shots.
I think it's 200.
200 shots.
It's 200 shots. And
those full raw. Full 12-bit raw images. Uncompressed.
Yeah. But single raw images. So not raw and JPEG. So
right.
Yeah. But for me, you know, my style is, you know, I do bursts, then take my finger off and refocus, regardless of the situation. So I do just maybe 2-3 second bursts.
Right. And where a press photographer may go with longer bursts if they're photographing a speech or something, because you're looking for that mouth that's not looking a little too awkward.
Well, that's where video could come in handy, but with doing it the burst style, just taking my finger off every 3-4 seconds, I did not get any lag whatsoever, even through an entire session. So I never had to push it to the limit of 200 images straight.
That's a lot of images.
That is a lot of images.
Yeah.
So basically, the lag issue is gone.
Cool.
Certainly for my style.
I remember when I got my very first D3, and it didn't have the extended buffer, and that was the Achilles heel of the D3, because I believe it was 9 or 12 images, and then the buffer got full.
Ouch.
Which was, or maybe it was 12. I don't remember, but you could do 2 little bursts, and that was it. You were done. So there it is in a nutshell. These are out in, well, those who pre-ordered are receiving them now, and they're going to be in stock fairly soon. I'm told that the supply is good. 100% weather sealed. Fantastic camera. If you can afford it, you're going to love it.
Well, I had it in the rain today.
You had it in the rain today? It's been a rainy day here today.
It's been rainy.
It hasn't stopped.
But it was great because it was low light. I never thought I'd ever want to have low light. But I had a good session with a number of animals today, and we can show some of the images.
Sure. We'll just pop them up on the screen here, and you guys can have a look. So with that, thanks, Tony, for being here. Look for Tony on Facebook. Look for Tony on his webpage, alwaysanadventure.ca. And thanks for being here again. It's always a pleasure to have you on board. And we're kind of lucky because we're in the same city. So when we're both in the city at the same time, it works out very, very well.
We can go and have fun together.
There you go. And we have this week. It's been a blast. I've enjoyed working with you this week. And as always, I've learned a lot. So thanks to everyone who made this show possible. We couldn't have done it without you guys. And don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you leave us a comment. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to see in future episodes. We learn from that, and that helps us make the show better. We are on Facebook at SnapShot Show, and we have our website too, snapshotshow.com. So make sure you check us out. Remember, get out there, shoot lots, because pixels are free. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.